details here, including that I'm 6'2".
Well, you put it there, not me.
I did. Well, she's kind of like that's average height for like a male chiss, which is her genetic
Yeah.
birth. So she's a little taller than average.
Yeah. Not.
Would have been great for track and field.
Turn that down a bit.
It's a whole interesting ethical can of worms if you want to get into that at some point. But
okay. Not, of course, not today, but next Wednesday, I'm doing a 24-hour stream for charity. So I'm going to start at 6 o'clock in the morning Central, and then at 6 o'clock Central Thursday morning. And I'm going to do a 24-hour stream. I am going to start by painting. Mm-hmm. After I paint for a little bit, I'm going to play the Darkest Dungeon. And whenever I kind of get tired of that, I'm going to read a book.
Like aloud?
Yes, aloud.
Oh, sweet. What book?
I've just picked it. I've read it before, and I want to read it again. It's called Fairy Tale by Raymond E. Feist, and it's a story about an author.
I know it. I know it.
Do you? Well. It's a really good book.
I enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the ones I read as a teenager, and I was like, this is really good. I should read this one. And I lost my copy a long time ago, so I was like, I'm going to go get another one.
That's an excuse to buy another copy of it. That's a good call.
So I figured I'd read that. And if y'all want to join me, I've opened up the Skype, so anybody that has my Skype can come in and jump in and come in and hang out with me during this to keep me going. James Wapple, which is, of course, is an amazing painter. It's Kathy's husband. He does all of his stuff really, 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 really late at night. And so he's going to join me on some of the night shifts to keep me awake and moving.
Are we playing next week?
I don't think we will because it'll be a little too much. That way we can kind of get our schedule of every other week.
No worries. I'm totally down with that. But I mean, if we're not playing next week, then I've got this block of time quite free and available to come hang out. So I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'll come and we can talk. I don't know. It depends what you're doing during that block, I guess.
It won't matter if I'm doing something. I'm like, because I can Skype anybody in at any time, so it's not a big deal. I've got everything set up where if I'm doing my Twitch solo painting, I'm good there. All I gotta do is open up Skype and answer the call, and then if I'm doing game solo, I can put it there. But you can always just call and talk and bullshit. So it's not like
cool. Well, I like to talk and bullshit, so I will do that.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna be free next Wednesday because I'm waiting on the patio set to arrive. It's scheduled for that day, so I'm gonna be here.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna need some
emotional support.
Way to go! Keep going, Gonzo, because it's for Arkansas Children's Hospital. It's the Extra Life that they do, and so I'm gonna get.
How are you gonna stay up for 24 hours? Like I can barely make 12.
Oh man, I don't sleep hardly ever.
That's not ideal. Most people make at least 16 every day. If you haven't made 24 hours before, you haven't gone to a War Machine convention.
That's true.
Yeah, at Gen Con one year, I ran every overnight tournament and also played in Netrunner Nationals and played in the first 4 rounds of Masters. So I did not sleep for literally 3 days until I left the press gang party, grabbed a coffee at Starbucks, walked back over to the hall, sat down in the hallway, put my coffee down beside me, slept for an hour, picked up coffee, went back and judged the finals of Masters.
Now it's an iced coffee.
It wasn't iced coffee. It was just a melted iced coffee this time.
You know, I love the evening tournaments at cons. Well, everyone's plastered, so they're a lot less serious.
Yeah, and it's a fun environment too.
They're definitely more fun. I don't drink much, so I tend to be the sober one that starts actually winning games for once. It's
know who crushes it at night tournaments is night shift workers. I had a guy who won every single overnight tournament at Gen Con, and I was like, dude, what's your secret? You're playing so well. And he's like, I normally work nights.
That's like the hours he's normally playing.
Yeah, this is his wheelhouse.
6 a.m.
Normally he's playing all of his games really tired, and for the first time he's playing against tired opponents, and he's totally alert. It was pretty cool.
Shut up, you did.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
ready
great.
whenever you folks are.
Yep.
I'm excited to be telling the story of Malokia, whose last name is Sar. Turns out reading character sheets is such.
Sorry, I was.
My last name might be Biz.
Like Frizz Biz is the
Yes.
And is like Prince and Madonna. He has one name.
we know Gant's first name, last name, call sign.
Yeah.
Probably his ICQ login.
ICQ. Holy shit. That's old school.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm old school.
No, I'm just saying I haven't heard of ICQ in forever. I remember when you used
I don't even know
ICQ.
what it is, so it must be old school.
It's
now
Windows
I'm-
Messenger.
Well,
It was one of the first instant messenger things out there.
yep.
I had that, but I was a child and I was not allowed to be on it without supervision.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to ASL people when your mom's watching you.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. It was
I
when we
missed
played
those
Ultima
overflow
Online.
chat rooms.
ASL location. Ooh, we're near. 6 hours away.
Yeah, we're in the same country.
I'm definitely a woman.
So
I just love the idea that there's so many people who fell in love and they were both guys on the other end pretending to be girls.
what? No.
Oh, sure. They say most people online aren't honest about who they are when they don't have to be.
It's
What?
true.
Not the internet.
How could they?
The arbiter of all truth, and they're lying.
The largest and most unreliable source of information in the world, and they lied to me on it.
I'm pretty sure that the news sources run by the late Rupert Murdoch are giving them a run for their money.
Oh my! It is a dark time to be alive, folks.
Yo.
I may have said this before, but I am genuinely scared for the future of democracy, or whatever we're calling it these days.
Yeah, see, at least you're already in Canada. We just threaten to move to Canada constantly.
If there's a war, we're going down first. Like, you guys are already making overtures that we're like a national security threat. I'm pretty sure whatever the American equivalent of Lebensraum is what we count as.
No, it's okay. You guys have the pipeline.
The American Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, that's not
No.
a good place to be in terms of the lens of history.
No.
Oh, I'm moving some stuff around.
The pipeline that if we didn't build, you would just oppressively invade. Yeah, no, that's a good pipeline. I'm glad we're doing that. I mean,
Yeah, so I can't wait to invade you for oil. It'll happen eventually.
right now it's oil, but it's gonna be water. Like, that's the long term.
Ice caps.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're running out of those too.
Okay. All right. So no XP was given. So small recap. Tim, go ahead and go. What's our small recap of what happened last session?
So last session, our intrepid adventurers were sent off on a mission with the assistance of the now fledgling rebellion group. They were sent to a planet where intelligence suggests, specifically a contact on point, Lottie's contact, suggested that he had information that he was willing to trade for money and assistance getting off planet about Jedis that were on the surface. After some mixed success brokerage with the individual in question, we gave him the money, we received the intelligence, and we infiltrated a compound not unlike the one we've seen on a couple of other planets that have been occupied by the Sith.
Correct.
We managed to do so with a combination of stealth and a little aggression. We're fairly successful doing so, and without raising any alarms, we managed to uncover, in an interrogation chamber, a Jedi we had seen before. Our ex-master Turk, who was somewhat worse for the wear, but certainly alive, and I'm going to say sarcastically excited to see us.
Yeah, how you go with that?
It was good. I had fun. We're all a little shocked and awed by the experience.
That was a beautiful recap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. I'm genuinely enjoying this.
And that's pretty much where we are. Y'all had got in and did that. He looked over and said that, blah, 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 blah. we can go and give out some XP. We're going to give 6 out this time. Because it was kind of a shorter thing that was going on.
We killed those 2 guys.
Yeah, they're not worth XP. That's not how it works in this game.
The XP is more abstract than that.
If I recall, we had some
Yeah, it is.
parties killing those guys. Six. The second I get XP, I want to spend it all. But I don't have an unspendable amount.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna bank mine.
Yes, I too will be banking mine. Last time around, Mel got a force power for the first time, which is the heal harm force power. Thinking about upgrading that or getting an extra bonuses, maybe the control power or like an extra bonus to range, but I'm a little ways off on either of those. So yes, I too will bank my experience.
I'm gonna spend it. I'm just trying really hard to.
Fair warning, I will be having dinner delivered to me while we're playing because somebody's getting me sushi, and
Ooh.
I'm not going to stop the stream or wait for sushi.
How far away are you from water? Because sushi feels a little risky based on my knowledge of geography.
Oh no, we've got 2 good sushi places here. So
I feel like you sidestepped that question, but I'm going to allow it.
well, I'm in Arkansas, so it is decently away, but we've got 2 good sushi places.
Okay. What sort of sushi did you get? Are you like a California roll man, or is this?
No,
Are we like?
I'm getting a Cajun roll, which is a crawfish roll.
Okay, that seems freshwater.
Yeah, it's fresh. I'm getting a crunchy roll, and a spicy octopus,
Ooh, nice.
and of course a taco salad.
Okay.
Do you know what a taco salad is?
I mean, my assumption was it's a salad made out of taco pieces, but maybe
No.
I'm wrong.
It is.
My assumption was a Mexican hat, which is
Yeah, the sombrero.
with the lettuce and the meat inside. So
No, it is a octopus and seaweed salad.
oh,
That took a turn.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's spelled Tako.
See, yeah, I feel like that's cheating.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, all right. So that's pretty much where we left off. Other than that, we can go with whatever you need to. You're pretty much no alarm or anything has sounded. I'm getting kind of situated. So Turk is there. He kind of gives you that look. You can tell we've already described that his face kind of and part of his body looks kind of like Two-Face in a bit. One side of his face is completely screwed up and damaged. And of course he rolls over and gives you the line of "It's about time," and is waiting for you to do what you do.
Okay. Mel's going to, with an apologetic look on her face, say, "Is there anything else we need to get from here, or anyone else here that you know of?"
No, you just need to get out.
All right, let's get out of here. So she's
Okay.
going to kind of grab him, make sure he's able to be transported or doesn't need any assistance walking.
He
And
does need
assuming
assistance
everything's-
walking. He has trouble. You can tell that he's kind of emancipated. That some of his, his body is worse for wear.
Mhm.
Burned and beaten up and holes and all this other stuff.
Is there any kind of like superficial damage that I could do like a medicine check to help with, or is this all
No.
like more long term?
It's all long-term torture.
Okay. Mel's gonna kind of pull him underneath her shoulder and probably crouch down a little bit to do so.
Mhm.
Although he's a Gist too, we're probably pretty close in height. And she's gonna, head toward the exit and then say, "Cover me. Make sure things are clear. We have to get out of here as quickly as possible."
Anne's gonna take point.
Okay. You can get out. No problem. I mean, of course, everything's been dead the whole way through this. You can get out the front door, scoot around the back, and then, of course, go through the cut area of the fence like you did last time. Other than that, it just takes you time. You're actually pretty quiet about it. Pretty slow. It takes some time, and of course, Turk is definitely and on and you know, having issues as he's walking. Oh yeah, go everybody give me a force roll so we can get that out of the way.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot to do that.
Yep, totally forgot to do that too.
Oh, good. It's gonna be one of those sessions.
It's not a 3 dark side thing session though.
Yeah, we've had a few of those.
Yeah, we have had.
In all this, Frizz used some of the experience she gained from this experience and got a little bit more cool, just out of nowhere.
Just
Started
a little
sparking
bit
a
more.
little bit.
The return of her previous master and trainer has solidified her sense of self.
Hey, just making sure he's not leaving a blood trail behind, is he?
No.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Nope.
Send out the dogs.
So you get through. It is definitely taking you a lot longer, of course, because you're dragging a 6 foot plus tall, you know, chiz along with you. And then eventually you get to your location where you're supposed to. Most likely an hour and a half longer than what you thought it would take. Other than that, you need to be in communication and talk about what you need to do.
Can we radio ahead to Lottie? Is that
Yes, you definitely know that you're going to be not, you know, on the right time.
Yeah, our rendezvous will have to be delayed because person who takes time to move.
Yep. And you do, and eventually they kind of show up. And Lottie, and everybody else that's on the ship are coming down to help you. And they are pleasantly shocked of who you have.
Mel's going to keep an eye on Turk's reaction to the extent that there is one. He's obviously in a lot of pain and maybe he won't respond. But if there's anybody who, like, he sees in this group that he's not, like, relieved to see or that he's sort of maybe surprised to see, she's going to kind of just make a mental note of that.
Okay. Yeah, nothing comes out of your head. Or nothing comes out of there in any way, form, or fashion that you notice right off the bat.
These all seem like either unknowns or rebels who he would expect to be part of his little rebellion.
Correct.
Okay.
They help him down and put him in an area for him to sleep and start working on his wounds, which Owen can say.
We probably don't have a back to tank on the ship.
No. Not at all. But they start trying. What'd you say, Max?
What ship do we have?
I don't remember what ship y'all took. I don't remember what ship y'all took.
Did we take the freighter, the like cargo ship?
I think it was.
Okay.
We'll just say what it is. There's no space combat, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
You gotta get me those files first before we can get a space combat.
Thought I did.
Send them to me again just to make sure.
Okay.
And then they'll be there for next time.
Sorry. Y'all get and take off on the ship. Oh shoot, hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to make this phone call. I missed a call. I knew I was.
No worries.
No problem.
We'll just metagame while you're gone.
Hope I'm not blinding anyone.
Just me.
Sorry.
I looked up to see if you were blinding me. That was a mistake. Why was that the move? Because like.
Okay, sorry about that.
Awesome.
You're getting a metagame? Sure, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would even matter.
Yeah, I don't think that's with what's going on. I don't think that's gonna happen. Okay.
It's more lighthearted.
Y'all get back, and pretty much, they take him right off of the ship. Sorry. Take him right off the ship and head him straight into the med bay area that y'all have already. You already have y'all three know about it. A7 is definitely shocked. If you've ever seen a droid have emotions, he's definitely got it right here.
Positive emotions, like
Yes.
he's cool.
And shock and everything stuff's going on, but definitely positive. Everybody's they escort him in, take him out. Everybody's escorted out, and A7's in there working on him. Lottie and Sarge are both looking at you and like, so tell us what happened.
Well, sorry. Nope. Okay.
That is heavily defended as it should have been.
Yeah, I mean, the intelligence was good. I mean, obviously, there were guards, but enough that we could either sneak past or manage our way in. It's not clear to me whether he was left there or, they finished interrogating him, or if they were just preparing for another round. But obviously, he was alive, so there was information that they still needed to get out of him.
No one else in there?
Not that we found. I mean, there were the couple of guards that were, in the facility, but no one else that was in any of the cells. They were empty or, contained bodies.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, A7's going to work on him. We'll check back in a day or so, see how he's doing. Other than that, we have stuff that needs to be done around here because we're going to have to go on a run pretty soon. We've got a call that a certain cargo is manifesting somewhere, and we're going to go take it out.
Not a resupply, but like a hit and run?
More of a hit and run, a guerrilla tactic type thing. Just to disrupt everything.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously, we're happy to help wherever we're needed. I have some medical skills, but obviously nothing compared to A7. I'm happy to assist with Turk if it's necessary. Otherwise, I'll work on some of the ships and make sure things are in ship shape.
Okay. You have about a day to do whatever you want, if there's anything in particular. If not, let me know, and we can just kind of fast forward time a bit.
Frisbee just checks in a room and makes sure nobody messed with any of her stuff.
Nobody mess with any of your stuff.
Okay, she would know. She has garbage strategically placed in case someone walks in a room she's just not around.
Mel's gonna handle enough responsibilities that it feels like she's contributing, but if she has like a couple of hours or a half day, she's gonna go work some pharmaceutical magic and manufacture a bunch of pills.
Okay.
For her drug dependency.
Okay. Dan?
To be replaying the events of the rescue because he is convinced that there's something that they missed there.
Okay. All right. Other than that, again, nothing pops off your head. Mm-hmm. Nothing goes crazy with it. Nothing just kind of automatically has anything to do with it. Other than that, it kind of just goes on without, normal. I mean, everything just seems normal. Mm-hmm. I mean, it may have seemed a little bit too easy, but nothing, stands out.
Okay.
Nothing makes your thing go, yep, this is bad.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So, all right. In the morning, Kat, You see, you A7 comes knocking on your door, Tim.
Mel opens the door. She's still probably working on the stuff that she's been working on, not getting a ton of sleep, so she looks a little bit bleary-eyed, and she's wearing chemist goggles. Yes?
He's ready to see you now. Get the other two.
Very well. Mel's going to take a moment to kind of clean herself up and at least wipe her face down. And she's going to go to Frizz's room and track down Gand and head to the medical bay.
Okay. You track them down, no problem. They're where they normally are. You got to open up Frizz's room and knock on it and stuff, and it kind of reeks in there. Like a teenage boy, never cleaned room.
Turk is ready to see us, and we should talk about this situation later.
Hey, they didn't have running water on my homeworld, okay? She wiped it off her face.
They have it here, and you may wish to avail yourself of it. Also, I feel bad for your homeworld.
Well,
let's go.
Frizz is always excited to follow Mel anywhere, so she just hops up, doing whatever she's doing, just falls off her lap, whatever project, and she just exits her room.
Okay. You get up and go. You eventually, of course, it's down in the med bay. He's kind of sitting up in the bed, not completely, but definitely up a bit. And he kind of looks at you and kind of, he's nursing a drink and kind of chewing on some food. And notices you and looks at you and kind of motions you in.
Master Turk, it's good to see you alive. We weren't sure we'd ever see you again. We've followed your advice the best we can. Obviously, we're but a small resistance. What can we do now? Please, tell us where we've gone wrong.
Well, have you been using my notes to find artifacts first?
So I've gone through your notes at great length, and I've had a little bit of trouble making meaningful headway with them. We traveled to one possible lead after an enormous amount of research, and I can show you what I came up with to the extent that it's even worth looking at. But the planet we went to didn't have anything that I would call a useful artifact. A lot of study and a lot of lore, but nothing that we left there with beyond the partial remnants of an old lightsaber. Which is noteworthy, but I didn't feel like they were going to win a revolution against the Sith for us. So we followed the lead of Sergeant Lottie, and we helped them in the missions that seemed of considerable urgency, including some resupply for the colony here. But now that you're back, maybe you can help us understand what your plan was.
Go get my book.
Mel doesn't need to hear anymore. She turns right around and rushes up to her room, where she recovers. She takes the holocron and a number of books and a bunch of other things, including some of the notes that she's made in a bit of a personal journal, and she brings them down, ready to kind of present on the subject. She lays the book out in front of him in his sort of tray where he's got the food, after making sure she's not putting it in a puddle of food. And then she shows him some of the notes she's made, a couple of the connections. She really has spent a lot of time working on this, and it's obvious from the incredibly detailed small note taking, which is all in the Chiss alphabet because it's better and more optimal for putting great amounts of swaths of information all in the same spot at the same time. But it should be obviously familiar to him. And she shows him everything she's got, and looks genuinely embarrassed to have not kind of discovered what secret he was hunting after.
Okay. While you're going up there, I'm going to cut it so you can come back and
sure.
Yep. While you're up there, while he's gone, Turk looks at you, Frizz, and is like, "So, you kicking ass or just being a pain in the ass?"
Did we mention we saved Sarge? And you? You're welcome.
I didn't ask if you did your job. I'm asking if you're kicking ass.
Well, obviously to get to Sarge, there was a little bit of ass kickery. But I can't say I was alone. I did have some help from my friend the Gond over here.
He looks over at you again and is like, "So, you getting paid, or are you doing this for free now?"
Wait, we were getting paid?
There's no one who can pay me. So I guess this is pro bono work.
Pro bono. Okay.
He's going to be expecting a lot of back pay from Turk right now. Plus some danger pay, because let's be honest.
No, actually, he's like, currently, in order to get pay, he's going to have to eliminate the problem in his ability to take jobs. It is the Sith Empire.
Step 1 to getting paid: rebuild infrastructure necessary for payroll.
Exactly. So,
Step 2, question mark. Step 3, profit.
exactly.
Okay.
The miracle occurs somewhere in between steps 1 and 3.
So that goes on. You pretty much, have all that. By the time it comes down, you lay out that stuff. He kind of looks at all three of y'all and is like, "Y'all need to be finding these. You need to quit going over to all the little stuff that they're doing, and I need you to find this stuff." Got a little bit of dog barking in a bit because I got someone's home. So I need y'all to do this. And you should have seen this clue a long time ago, Mel. He flips over the book for a few pages and points down and shows you a small cipher that you missed because it's written in another cipher.
Mel's eyebrows raise slightly, and then they raise a little bit further up.
Yeah, he shows you where the cipher is and how to figure out this cipher so you can decode what he's written in certain edges of the corner.
You're probably right. I should have figured that out. Yeah, that's really interesting. That unlocks a whole realm of possibility here.
Yeah. So he sits there and he does that. And he kind of flips and he's like, "This is the one I was working on, and this is the one I need you to find. This one right here, you need to work on this and find out where this datacron is. This datacron is extremely important."
Okay. I'll work on it right away.
Okay.
She takes the book and the newly revealed cipher, and she's walking up the stairs to her room, but she's leaping through the book and looking for translations of it. She's already kind of basically on the project.
Hold on a second.
Just a little embarrassed. Kind of feels like she probably should have figured that out already, but
Before Mel leaves, Frizz is gonna ask her a question. Is it datacron like a holocron?
Sort of. Normally, a datacron contains information, not necessarily holographic in nature. The same kind of level of semi-sentience is not typical of a datacron. It's more like just it contains details. It's a bit like a book, but smaller.
Without pictures.
They can have pictures. They just don't always.
Okay.
Well, you know what it looks like. I should be okay then.
I think so. Maybe. We'll find out together.
Okay. He shows you how to do the cipher, how to figure it out. So now you can after like an hour or so, you're like, "Oh, this is making a bit more sense."
Yep. Mel's happy to chip away at it. She feels like anxious that she's kind of failed the group and failed her master, possibly failed the entire Jedi people. But she still sort of diligently works away at it and sees what she can make of the newly unveiled information.
Okay. You can start working on this, but it's going to definitely take you some time to figure out what you're doing. How long depends on how well you do on your research.
Well, I like researching. That's kind of her jam. How difficult is the research?
This is research is it's a standard difficulty, an average, but it is a setback in here.
Okay, 1 setback, average difficulty.
Sorry, I'm going to eat while we're doing this. Can't let sushi go to waste. Is that the name of a Marvel villain?
All right, Mel was moderately successful.
It actually takes you 3 days to figure it out.
Oh, jeez.
So, let y'all do it.
Yeah, with a check like that, I'm going to say Mel is, she leaves her room only occasionally and only to get food. Her normal, like, is this vegetarian? Like, I want to make sure I don't have anything die to eat the food that I eat. Like, that whole ritual is basically abandoned. She just assumes that people are taking care of her because she comes down, picks up food that she's pointed at, and, always has a book in hand or notes or is taking some notes and barely makes eye contact or talks to anybody else. Every once in a while, she, like, mutters some frustration or says, like, something, like, really excitedly and starts flipping through pages. But she's in and out of the room doing basically nothing but those things.
Okay.
At the end of the 3rd day, she smells a little bit like Frizz's room.
So, guys, y'all have about 3 days to play around with it. If there's anything you want to do particular. Nobody?
Well, Mel's doing that thing.
I don't know if Frizz would be much help, but I think she would probably go over and check on Mel and see if she needed help reading anything, or maybe someone else just looking at it with them.
And there's the reason why you have a setback. Okay. Frizz, you walk up in, and you see Mel's got all of her stuff laid all over the place and just like going back and forth, putting up pens, writing stuff on things. Go for it. What are you going to do?
She knocks the door gently, listens in.
Mel doesn't respond at all.
So she walks in, assuming it's not locked.
No eye contact, no locked doors. Yep.
She's gonna kind of appear and, wow, you smell really good. Did you switch to something? Really like that.
You get like a yeah. No, that sounds good.
Just to try, Frizz, just gonna sit next to her, pick up one of the mountain of books, and hope that it's one that maybe Turk gave her. She doesn't know. She never bothered to read any of them. And try to do some research herself. Maybe get a roll for that?
Sure.
I don't know what kind of book she picked. What kind of roll would that be?
It's a research roll.
Research. All right, let's do a research roll. How good am I at researching this book?
You've got a daunting, which is 4 purple and 1 black.
That's what you get for not having spent most of the campaign already reading these books.
It's called research? I don't have a research stat.
Could be lore.
Lore?
Yeah.
I'm sure
Lore.
it's
Lore.
Yep.
Okay.
You're participating.
You sit there and you like you see a picture of something that's like a cube and it's drawn, and you're super excited because you think you found some of the greatest information that's possible. That's definitely going to benefit Mel in her studies. 100%, this thing will solve all of her problems.
Mel, you should look at this. I think this is going to solve all of our problems. Is this the datacron?
Mel, like, ignores Frizz until it's literally impossible to not ignore Frizz anymore. And then she looks over and is like, what is going on?
She
Looks
holds
at the
book.
photo of the cube.
And it's just a picture of a cube of what a datacron might look like.
Great. That's a datacron. Keep up the good work.
I will keep up the good work.
Do you want to see if anyone else here has some suggestions? Maybe take some of the books down. She like quickly looks up at the books and sort of like triages them into two piles of like books that are probably important and books that she's already gone through that aren't important, and says, "Here, you go through this half."
All right, I will. I'll go to the whole half. Yeah, I'm sure like Gand or that other lady, sassy lady, would probably help too.
Yeah, ask Lottie. Definitely talk to her.
Yeah, I will. So she grabs her stack of books and heads on out.
Okay.
Drops one, but she picks it back up real quick.
Don't get any jam on the books.
Jam? Oh, I was literally just gonna go eat some jam.
Okay. You run down and you see Gand walking up with like a plate of food. And he's like walking up towards you as you're going down the stairs.
She excitedly runs up to him. Doesn't care if he's eating or not. She does look at his plate of food to see if it's anything she might want.
No. It's that gross stuff.
Definitely not one.
She has all of a sudden she has traumatic flashbacks of a drink. She doesn't remember what drink, but she remembers she doesn't want to eat things that the Gan usually ingests.
Literal poison.
Her stack of 6 to 12 books and splits them in half and says, "Hey, would you like to help me do some research? It's a mission from Mel. It's official."
This one thinks that you were given this mission on purpose.
Or I was given it on purpose because I'm so important.
Would be the best one at handling said mission. This one is busy training in martial arts and working with some of the sparring with some of the rebels that we've got on the base, because they're less dangerous to me to spar with than either you or Mel, who want to do it with lightsabers.
Because we do. She pulls out her back pocket and pulls out a crumpled piece of paper. And the paper is the cube out of that book. She desecrated a book and ripped out a page. Sometimes you just have to think outside the cube. And then she gives him a book. Trust me, I know there's gold in there. Maybe you can read it. I can barely read half these words. Or numbers. I think one of these books is just all numbers.
Under his plate, and proceeds to walk the rest of the way to his room.
He kind of like blows you off and just kind of walks on past you. You see a couple of the other... You see a couple of other rebels sitting down there, and then you see... you also see Lottie with Sarge sitting down there having drinks and stuff at the area, the hangout area around the fire pit right now.
Oh, she immediately walks over to them. She stops for a moment, decides to be a little cooler because it didn't work with the god, and she just sits next to them and she puts her big pile of books. She opens one up and she looks over and goes, "I'm researching this stuff. What are you guys doing?"
Sarge looks over at you and goes, "Do you know how to read?"
Yes.
Oh.
It just depends on the language.
No, I'm not talking about looking at pictures. Do you know how to decipher words?
If I have the book the right direction, I usually do pretty good. Sometimes you gotta shift it around and they make sense. Speaking of, what are you guys doing? Has Turk spoken to you at all?
We've talked to her for a little bit.
Yeah? Think he's
Yeah.
doing okay?
He's doing fine.
What do you guys, what is your mission right now? Like, we have a mission, but what do you do?
We're about to go kill some Sith.
Ooh. Where at?
On a planet you don't need to know about. So we're going to get drunk before this, because this could be our last day. And every year a couple other rebels and stuff are like, oh, they kind of make a cheer. And everybody takes a few drinks.
Friz closes her book, and suddenly realizes that today might be her last day as well. Decides to have a drink with them.
Over under. Who had 10 minutes for researching being over and drinking beginning?
I think that's about where she'd probably spend the rest of her evening at that point.
Okay, so you get pretty sloshed. Understandable. It's typical Frizz.
Low tolerance, kind of small. Strong drinks doesn't help much.
Not when you're 4'2" or whatever.
6 or something. I'm sure they're drinking like the dankest of homebrewed moonshines.
Dinkest of crap.
Okay.
Okay.
This is some toilet bowl stuff here. It's high grade.
Throw a couple raisins in there.
Flavored throat lozenges.
Okay. Mel, give me a... what's a good check for this? Where's my... give me a perception check. No negatives.
I will make a perception check.
Can I decipher the title of this book that was thrust into my hands, at least?
What languages do you speak?
I don't even know what languages I speak. I'm assuming I speak Galactic Common and Gand. I haven't taken any extra languages. I'm assuming that's what I start with.
Yeah.
Languages are pretty ad hoc in this game. So,
Yeah.
like, if you want to, like, have a reason to speak Shillerwook or whatever, you can if you're Han Solo from the most recent movie or something like that. Just like
This one's
languages
just a
move with the
rare.
speed plot.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty much open. This one's just kind of rare.
Okay.
That's what
So, like, you know, if you've got a good reason to have spoken it, then sure. But like Mel definitely speaks the Chiss language, and she's probably got some, like, you know, space equivalent of Latin and some other things like that. She doesn't speak Gand. She doesn't speak Shirleywook or anything weird like that. Like, the sort of conversational underground races don't make any sense for her to know, but the, like, weird, obscure, old race like languages she probably does know because she's just studied a lot of languages.
Yeah, I mean,
Where character would be conversational underground races.
yeah, you would have, you know, like the thieves can't, you know, and underground stuff would be not a problem, but
You might
obscure
know
ones.
something like Hutties because you, like,
That's what I was
negotiate
thinking.
with them. Yeah, like,
Okay.
Mel might know how to conjugate in Hutties, but probably doesn't speak it.
Mel, you're sitting there studying, and all of a sudden you hear like a lot of banging and a lot of noise, and coming from outside your room and downstairs. You kind of go out there and open the door, and you see that standing on the edge of the fire pit with one of your books is Frizz, drunk as shit, trying to read it as a Shakespearean type play at the loudest, toppest of her voice, trying to describe what's going on. Go ahead, Frizz.
She's standing up there with her arm up, and then you take the equation divided by the multiplier. This would come with a result that, yeah, and to be. And she drops the book. And then she drops herself.
I need a athletics checks with at least 3 purples.
At least she's rather athletic.
Almost done with dinner, guys.
Hey, if I have a stat that lets me take away a black, that's just a black, not purple or anything
Correct.
else. You said 3 purples, right? Nothing else?
Ah,
Huh. That's weird. I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, that's
Things went really badly, but also really well somehow.
She's standing up there. She's got the book and she's trying to make some stuff and everything. Again, you don't hear it.
Nope.
She's got the book waving it around above the fire pit and stuff, and goes to like toss the book, and the book falls out of her hand into the fire pit.
Oh no.
But at the last second, as she reaches to go do it, she falls back, and when she does, her foot hits the book and it lands off into the side and skids across the ground.
Mel like takes a moment to appraise the situation and just like concludes on balance that she just needs to leave and goes back into her room. I think this is gonna hurt her more than it's gonna be useful to the researching process.
Okay. You do that. And pretty much the night goes down. Frizz, you wake up still at the fire pit, kind of sleeping with your legs and butt and part of your back on like the edge of the sofa, and your head is on the ground and shoulders are on the ground. Gand, you do find her like this. There's a couple other people that are there kind of passed out too, but she's definitely
Gand
sleeping
nudges
really
her with
weird.
his foot.
Do what?
Gand nudges her with his foot. This doesn't look like a position people would normally sleep in.
I would like to point out that your foot gets suspiciously wet.
Suspiciously wet.
Oh, she just puts it away and just rolls over to her side on the floor. Everything else still
Gand
here.
sees that she's alive, doesn't care anymore.
Okay.
Continues walking to the kitchen area to find his breakfast.
Okay. Mel, you notice as you're walking down to go get your breakfast, you see Gand kicking Frizz awake. And she's kind of like, as you notice her peculiar sleeping position.
Mel like sidelong glances Frizz, collects like some breakfast. She's like collects the breakfast in one hand while she's got like her other hand is still actively reading a book, and then she walks past Frizz to the like pile of books that she gave her yesterday and just scoops those up and heads back up the stairs to resume her research.
You look at the books and you notice that some pages are torn out.
Like a lot of them.
She flinches kind of visibly, almost drops her breakfast, and then just collects them and sighs.
Okay. Frizz, it is roughly about mid-afternoon before you finally wake up. And you notice like everybody else is moving around doing things. And your books are gone.
My books are gone. Also my pillow. My book was my pillow. I don't know where that went. She just assumes they're in her room. She must have put them there last night. She specifically remembers, thinking back, she was in her room all night studying really, really hard. So they have to be there, and she's really, really hungry and has kind of a headache. So she decides instead that she'll go to the kitchen because she deserves a snack after all that work she did.
Okay. You go to the kitchen, and of course you can go get your food. The droid's in there cooking up a few things, finishing up packing and making food for everybody.
Meal prepping.
Meal prepping.
She is trying to recall when she was supposed to go on a mission next. Debates on maybe finding somebody and seeing if she's supposed to be getting ready here soon. It has been a couple days, but she kind of.
It's only been one day.
It feels like a week.
Yeah, it's only been one day.
She has a week's worth of hangover.
That could be true.
Yeah, I guess she would just eat and try to recuperate her energy. She has a headache from reading so much; it makes complete sense.
Yeah, that's it.
Very straining on the eyes.
Yeah, no, that's logic of sorts.
Okay. You eventually get your food and go back to your room, and it's pretty much just like you normally find it. The books are not here.
It's so refreshing to be back in my room. It's exactly how I left it. She assumes that she hid them from herself. She does that a lot. Carries on.
Hid them from herself. Okay.
The trick to finding them will be to get in a state of inebriation similar to when you lost them.
It works almost every time.
Okay. Other than that, the pretty much day goes by no problem. Frizz, are you gonna go look for your books, or are you just gonna chill?
She's probably gonna pass out. She needs to recuperate because she's gonna get called on a mission soon.
Okay. Gand, anything you want to do particular?
Well, since all of Gan's sparring partners are leaving on this mission,
Very much so.
Gand is going to probably meditate on the roof.
Okay.
And when he feels, and at some point probably go and hang out with Turk to try and convince him to get better quicker, because he's pretty sure Turk might know hand-to-hand combat without a lightsaber.
I'm sure. Yep, he does. You can spend the day talking with him, just BSing, having a little bit of fun. No problem.
Yep.
And hang out. Other than that, the day goes by is pretty much no problem whatsoever.
When I get back to my room, though, I noticed the book that I was handed and proceed to return that to Mel before checking out for the evening.
Okay. All right, you do that. You hear a knock at your door, Mel.
Mel just just says fine and kind of is barely paying attention. Does not look up as Gand enters the room.
Okay.
Continues to work on the research she's been working on pretty single-mindedly.
You can
And enters the room, sets the book down somewhere where he doesn't think it will be in her way, and then walks out.
Okay.
She probably doesn't even notice. At some point, like 45 minutes after he's left, she reaches over to the book, assuming it's a tray of food, and then realizes it's not and is slightly confused, but continues on her research.
Okay. You do that. Nothing happens. And all of a sudden, you hear another knock at your door.
Okay, Mel will respond to it.
Okay. You notice that it is A7. He's like, so have you found or done anything? What are you doing?
The cipher that Turk shared with me was key. I've managed to decode much of the initial information that he researched, and I'm now at this point trying to figure out to pinpoint an exact location.
Okay.
I know what we're looking for. I know where we're looking for it broadly, and how much of this process do you really want to know about? At this point, I'm tracing the lineage of an artifact that was carried across multiple planets. I'm just trying to get a logical place for it to have settled so that we can begin a mission.
Gotcha. Okay.
I feel like I'm close, but I felt like I was close before and hit snags. The research is going well, but there's a lot of volume, and it's required a lot of focus.
Okay. No problem.
Obviously, if Turk was well, he could help, but I'd rather not bother him if this is something I can figure out on my own.
No problem. All right. He just wanted to make sure that you were doing okay and everything.
Yeah. If you could keep Frizz distracted, that would help.
She's sleeping her hangover off right now.
Sounds good.
Okay. Pretty much the second day goes by no problem. Third day, by the end of the third day, Mel, you'll have all the information you need. Frizz, you wake up. Pretty much decently relieved. Gand, you got to spend most of a bit of time talking with Turk. Not much was you didn't. I mean, you just gained like information, but no tactical or physical.
Yeah. It was more to have something to do that didn't involve trying to keep Frizz in line.
Correct. All right, you go ahead and do that. Third day, about 3 o'clock or so. Mel, you found the location.
Okay. Mel has a kind of eureka moment. She runs screaming out of her room with the book in hand and waving her arms. She's not quite as put together as she normally is, so she's wearing like a weird shorts and a weird shirt underneath robes that are open and flowing everywhere. So she rushes down and you're seeing more Mel skin than you normally would, long gangly legs and slightly weird looking arms. And some scarring in a couple of unusual spots. But she rushes down into the main common area and she says, I found it. I know exactly where we need to go. We should go as soon as possible.
Frizz and Gan, you're both down there when this happens.
Gan gets to work loading the ship. Gan's just been waiting for this result, so as soon as he hears it, it's like, okay, load the ship.
Mel is going to go take the details to Turk as soon as Gand is loading the ship, and she's going to say, I found it, I know exactly where we need to go. And she's going to show him her research and make sure it sort of checks out with what he's been doing.
Okay. Frizz, you see this. She's freaking out that she's found this spot.
Yes. Frizz is easily excitable, and so she also gets super excited, starts jumping around as well. She does take a moment to admire Mel's beautiful, beautiful long blue legs, and then follows Gand on to go get supplies ready and whatnot for the mission.
Okay. You head off. Turk is like, all right, go get it. It looks good. The information you found out is a small planet way out on the outer rim. Really, really small, in fact. Habitable by humans, so it has an atmosphere, but is very jungle-like. And it's small comparably to our moon. So really small. Part of the cluster of other small planets, but out in nowhere, nobody should be around there. But it is a jungle tropical environment.
Mel's going to recommend that they take a small ship, something likely to not leave much of a trail, and that they pack what they need for the environment, which she'll describe to Gand and assume he has covered.
That's the YT. It's going to be our small ship. So
That's the only one you have, really.
yeah.
You can get one transport ship, but it wouldn't make this distance.
No.
It would be too much of a problem. So y'all have y'all's personal ship.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Has engine designed to leave less of a trace.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. Anybody going to do anything before we all get to the atmosphere and get out of here?
Mel's just gonna wash,
Clean up.
yeah. She's kind of gone through her clothes without having time to do any laundry, so she is just kind of going through robes and sort of sniffing them to find something clean, and she grabs a robe that smells clean and is on the ship with it before she realizes that it's the robe that belonged to the Jedi that they found on their first encounter together.
Okay.
Riz makes sure that she packs enough food for her and her two friends.
Mel barely managed to get clean clothes, so she has not packed enough food for herself.
Gand has brought enough rations for everyone on his little pallet thing that he moves stuff to and from the ship with. He also made sure to bring our climbing materials again.
That's very smart.
The one thing Mel does remember to bring is a packet of her drugs.
Her drugs.
And my training lightsaber.
Training lightsaber.
Yeah, and a gun if I have one. If I can find it.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all pack up appropriate, no problem. You get up and you start going. It's going to take you probably about maybe a week or so. Because I know you're not going to try to hit any major ports or, anything along the way that, would definitely do anything. But it takes about a week to do what you need to do. You get to there, no problem. And you head into there, head into the planets where it's at, and you come out of warp.
First question, any other signs of other ships or even recent travel to this area?
Let's do that sensor check.
Is that astrogation?
It's all part of that Gand ability.
All right, Gand, you do it. You figure it out. I don't know how ships work. I know how to fix them. I know how to plot a course. That's about the extent of my abilities.
Sensor.
Everything else is you.
I can meditate on things, but that wouldn't help me with the.
Be part of your astrogation.
Yeah, it's probably either astrogation or piloting planetary.
Probably piloting planetary.
And that is what I will roll. What do we need to...
Standard difficulty.
Standard difficulty?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no threat. Oh, good.
Good, just to fail.
Just to fail.
Yeah, I pick in. No, you don't see anything.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to assume everything's fine then.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I?
Yep. You can go and get down into the planet, no problem. You know a rough estimated area of where it should be.
Okay, Mel's going to give Gand that information and let him take us in.
Okay. Is there a landing zone, a place where I can land this thing? This jungle?
No. Not anywhere near.
With us.
Do what?
We have A7 with us?
No.
Okay. I'm going to say that I trust Mel with the controls a little better than I trust Frizz.
It's understandable.
I'm
Mel's
going
like,
to go down to the ventral turret and clear us an LZ.
that's a thorough thought. Mel's gonna get to the controls, and she's gonna just basically try to hold the ship steady.
Okay.
That's essentially that's what Gand would show you to do. Don't touch anything. Keep us in the air.
Yeah, she has only an academic understanding of the physics involved here, so she's not pushing any buttons.
Okay. It takes you quite a bit of time, but you eventually get to where you can make a place that's suitable for landing.
Somewhere where there's not like geological formation likely to collapse and cause earthquakes for days.
Correct.
I was thinking that the trees were just so dense that I couldn't do anything about it. So it was like,
it's not great.
Down there cutting them down.
Okay. You get that, no problem. You can land it. Other than that, you can head down to the ship if you need. Head down to the ground if you need to, if you're ready.
Mm-hmm. And loads up his, slides the vibro knuckles over his fingers, slings his blaster over his back, and is ready to go.
Okay. All right.
Lead on.
Mel, you're in charge of where they need to go. You know where it's at.
Okay. Mel's gonna lead the way. She's got her lightsaber drawn, and she's using it kind of like a machete to just sort of like clear what's in front of her. She's probably also using it like a little bit of a bug zapper at this point to keep the mosquito population in check, which feels like hugely disrespectful of the Jedi tradition. But we're in a swamp, and the situation here is only vaguely tolerable. So she's gonna deal with what she can.
Okay.
Meanwhile, she's going to explain kind of some details about, why her research makes her think this is the right spot, which probably is of little interest to her party.
Go ahead and give me a lore check to make sure that you're following and you remember where you're going. And a navigation. Is that, what's that? Survival. Sorry. Lore to remember and survival to keep going in the right direction. No problem with the lore.
Yep. I'm going to use one of those advantage to give myself a bonus on the survival check.
Go for it.
I have to remember what skill survival is associated with.
Cunning.
Yeah. Well, I'm average good at that.
Average
and I
gooder.
have 0 ranks. It's not terrible.
Yeah. Takes a little bit, it takes a little bit longer than what you had thought. But you finally arrive at this ziggurat type structure. Multiple tiered type pyramid structure on it. It has what you can tell, a door exactly on the side that you made it on. You can tell that there's like an indent to where like possibly a door could be.
Okay. That's definitely going to be right where Mel heads. She's doing so kind of a little bit single-mindedly without a lot of regard for if there's any kind of trap or foible. She's just excited to see that her theories have materialized.
Okay.
So she's...
And follows watching his own steps.
Okay. Frizz, anything in particular?
Frizz is expertly mimicking the Gand, trying to be just like him. When he throws his backpack over, she throws her hat over her shoulder.
Okay.
She sees him looking around for stuff. She doesn't know what, so she's just kind of looking around too.
Okay. You're just like fake Mission Impossible. Duh, 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 duh.
Yes.
Looking around. Okay. Okay. You do that. Y'all get in, and there are these huge stone doors right in front of you. Definitely have not been opened in a long time.
Do they have any kind of writing on them? Anything that would be familiar based on the research Mel's done?
Nothing you can tell are ordinary.
Okay.
Just like some pictograph type stuff, but nothing that stands out to you.
She's she's gonna glance over them a little bit, but assuming everything feels familiar or at least appropriate to the research that she's done already, she's just gonna jump right in and try to open the doors, see if there's any kind of a recess or a catch or a handle of any kind.
Okay, you do that. You can find a handle, no problem. You can definitely tell that this hasn't been open in a very long time, and so it's going to take a bit of pushing and prying and shoving to get through this.
She pulls at it. When it doesn't come nicely, she's going to say, Frizz, do you want to see? Give me a hand here.
I'll give you 2. Frizz, I'm assuming you want us to to push this, right?
I think it's a pull. But yeah, no, we definitely want to try to open this door, and I think it's going to take some effort.
Alrighty, I'll do my best. Am I gonna be brawling this door?
No, you'll be using some athletics.
Ooh.
Anne's gonna watch their backs.
Yep.
Mel is basically letting Frizz do the lion's share of this. She's trying to help, but she's just sort of not the same level of capability as Frizz in this particular department.
Okay.
Low center of gravity. It makes sense. She's going to roll this. She's going to spit on both of her hands. She doesn't really know why she did that, but that's what people do. She really digs her back heel into the ground, and she just gives all the shove she has with her biceps, her pecs, everything. Her whole body is in it. Standard difficulty roll?
Yep. After a little bit of time, it does and budge and come open. And it actually is a pull, not a push.
Oh, yeah, then she starts pulling when she realizes that that's not doing anything. After she sees it open a little bit, she gets really excited and finds some inner strength and starts really, really pulling at this thing with everything she's got.
All right, you pull. It eventually comes open. You can tell that you're going to need to clean some of the debris that's in front of it just to make sure it moves open all the way.
When Mel sort of identifies that, she'll do the sort of sweeping thing and let Frizz keep showing off her impressive strength.
Oh, she's showing it off all right.
Those biceps working.
You eventually get it open, and you open enough for all of y'all can go through.
All right. Mel is going to lead the way. Lightsaber drawn but not ignited.
Okay.
What's the visibility like in here?
Not.
Can I see any heat
Nope.
with my heat vision?
Nope.
Any warmth or discernible walls, or is this a corridor? Is it a large open space?
There's nothing.
Okay. She's gonna ignite the lightsaber again and see if it casts any light that will fill the space.
Okay. You do it, and pretty much it lights up a bit, but it goes barely past where you're at. Because there's a lot of pillars and the hallway is really, really close in.
Okay. She's gonna take a few moments, kind of take that in a little bit, and then turn back to the Gand and say, "Let's bring any kind of a torch, like a flashlight of some kind."
Even my camping kit, I have a torch.
A torch of some sort.
Yes.
Not you have destiny points that you can flip over.
Oh, I suspect the Gand is well prepared for this eventuality.
He pulls out a fusion lantern
Sweet.
from his backpack.
Best kind of lantern. The one's powered by fusion. Energy of the future.
As he's pulling his stuff out, Frizz is cheering, back, because she's just so happy that he brought a backpack. She doesn't
What's
ever
not to
think
love?
things.
So I light up my fusion lantern and hold it out in front of me.
At this point, what do we see?
You open it up, and it's just a long stone corridor. You do see some braziers along the left and right hand side.
Do they look like they've got combustible material in them? Will they ignite, or will we have to?
Yeah, no, it looks like they probably could.
Is that the sort of thing that would stand the test of time, or is this likely something that has been recently tended to?
Up to you to try out.
What? No, sorry. What I mean is
There's something in there.
Yeah. Is the fusion lantern hot? I'm actually not sure.
I don't think so.
No, it's
Okay.
just a light source, not a heat source.
It's cold fusion.
Cold fusion.
Sweet. Okay. Well, Mel's gonna step over to it, and she's gonna take the very tip of her lightsaber and just sort of gently tap the space as if to create some heat and warmth.
Okay.
See if it responds.
Yeah, it kind of lights up. There's an oil in there that kind of ignites whenever you get it close enough to it.
Okay. Do we have a sense if that would require?
You could probably use one of your starting kits that you have in one of your packs, because y'all do have camping style type gear that y'all have always had before. It shouldn't be a problem. There should be some type of thing that does that, because I know that y'all have used or said something about that before.
Mm-hmm. We do have kind of a camping kit, which includes stuff like that.
Okay. You do that. I mean, you can get it and light it up, no problem. You just got to have the proper equipment. And you can start walking down the hallway. You're going to light all the braziers along the way, or just like every so often?
Yeah, Mel's going to make a point of lighting them all along the way.
Okay. All right, you take your time. It goes down about 40, 50 feet or so, give or take, and comes to another set of stone doors.
Same kind of scale?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Nothing discerning.
This time Mel's going to take a few minutes to clear the debris in front of them first, assuming they also open out. And after doing so, she's going to say, all right, Friz, if you can see if you can open these doors.
That's what I'm here for. She starts pushing, but then realizes that probably won't work. So she decides to pull on the door instead.
You pull on it, and it opens pretty quickly and pretty fairly.
This door was a lot easier than the last one.
Very much so.
Mel's a little bit concerned about that, but she tries not to show it too much. What do we see past here? More of the same?
You see it opens up, but it's not a hallway, but it opens up into a room.
Okay. Are there more sort of torch locations on the walls?
2 of them right on the side of the wall, right as you come in. Large ones too. Okay.
Mel's gonna step into the space, and she's gonna try to ignite both of them.
Okay, you do pretty well. It lights up pretty good. The room goes on for quite a distance to the left and the right, like maybe 40 feet to the left and 40 feet to the right, and goes deeper than what the braziers can go inside. Whenever you look towards the center of the room.
Big place.
And any thoughts here? I'm a bit concerned. I'm not totally sure where here we're looking for. None of my research indicates anything beyond this kind of temple.
You do see that as you're looking in that there are a couple of pillars in the center of the room.
Ah. Well, never mind then. I won't ask my trained treasure hunter where to go. I'll just go to these pillars.
You get closer to the pillars, and you notice that there are a couple of other braziers there too, large ones.
Okay. Mel's gonna turn those on, so to speak.
Okay. You light them, and there's another couple of braziers right after that. Probably about maybe roughly 20 feet. But it also lights up a pedestal. You can see a pedestal right there with, like, I wouldn't say a sarcophagus, but definitely or like a chest, an ornate chest in the middle of it with a large type lid.
Okay. Mel is going to walk past it, giving it a bit of a berth to the second set and ignite those.
Okay.
As she walks past, she's going to call back to Gand and say, this chest could be important. you mind checking it to see if it's...
Dan's gonna walk into the room and he's gonna make an abnormally emotional comment for him, and he says, "I think it might be in this chest, based on my professional opinion."
Mel's back is turned to her party, but they feel her eyebrows raise in a sort of skeptical, sarcastic, "Oh, is it?" kind of response. She doesn't say anything, but the body language is really obvious. And after she finishes igniting the remaining 2 torches, she turns around and, "You mind investigating it to see if it contains a lethal death trap or not?"
Cool.
That's typically what you do before you open these things.
I have heard tell.
What kind of atrocious difficulty am I rolling at?
Standard difficulty.
15 purples. What the?
And 7 blacks.
But no reds, oddly. It's a very elaborate but ultimately poorly made trap.
Yes, and evidently I spring said trap.
You don't find a trap, but you do crack part of the sarcophagus as you kind of lean against, or chest as you lean against it.
You're like, "There's no trap, guys. I found it out."
As you were putting your hand on it to move and look around, you put it on there and it pushes on and kind of cracks part of it.
It's the equivalent of finding out the atmosphere is breathable by taking off your respirator. Like,
Yes, pretty much.
it's all good, guys.
Points and goes, "It wasn't me. It was you."
No. And it's like, at least we're not trying to sell said sarcophagus to a rich buyer.
I guess it could be worse. That's true.
As there are no rich buyers for sarcophagi right now.
The sarcophagus market is totally busted right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically dead. Once the sarcophagus is open, wander over and ask Frizz for a hand removing the lid.
Okay. Go for it.
Is more than happy to give a hand removing the lid. When she gets close to the cracked portion, she does smell the air just to make sure there's nothing real funky coming out of it.
No, it's no air, no nothing, just there.
Just fresh. All right.
Nothing that's out of the ordinary. And you take and try to put your hands on it, and did you roll? You're like, and you break the top of the lid, and you slide off the top of it.
Frisbee is like a little too proud of herself, so she makes sure she doesn't push it off too fast. She makes it look like it's a lot heavier than it is, but it's really not.
Okay.
He looks inside immediately.
You push it off and look inside. It's a little dark, but you do see a box, roughly about a foot in all directions.
She looks back. "Hey guys, it's a box. It's a box in a box here.
It's a box in a box.
You me open the box? I can."
Okay. Yeah, open the box.
You grab it and you lift it up, and you're like, you're like trying to find a latch or something to open it up.
It's nothing. It's just.
But it's like
all
intricately.
sides in one mass.
Yeah, but it's nicely carved. Has a lot of cool symbols. It actually got some inlay on it and stuff. It looks really, really cool.
Puzzle box.
She tries to lift it a bit. Is it heavy?
It's not too heavy.
She picks it up and then goes, maybe I'll put it down. And looks over towards Mel and Gandon. Says, "I don't know how to open this box. You guys like puzzles? I don't like puzzles. Hate them."
Mel's gonna wander over. She really likes puzzles, but
Okay.
the last time Frizz told her something was a puzzle, it was like it was trying to open a can. So she's not getting too excited. She's just gonna kind of tentatively approach and be like, "Oh, it's probably not that much of a puzzle," and then she's gonna like jump into it, like just really excitedly embrace the puzzle box.
All right, you go to grab that puzzle box from her, and she's handing it over. Everybody make a fear check. 3
Ooh.
purples.
3 purples, and this is cool, right?
Yeah, it's cool. Sorry, yeah. It's a cool.
I have confidence, so I get a bonus on this.
With a 3 purple difficulty.
Yeah, no, it's still not going to be good.
Dan did pretty good.
No negatives from him.
Nope.
I think that's the first time in like 7 game sessions.
Yep.
I think that's all the game sessions.
Yep.
Oh, Mel is there.
You all kind of feel this shiver go through your body. You're just like this unnatural feeling as from the corridor that y'all came down, you see this red light up and goes, and you see a figure standing there and a red lightsaber light up. So,
Well,
you have a choice. Give it to me and die, or just die and I take it from you. And
Well,
all of
I
a
guess
sudden,
I'm just gonna die.
you see the face come in, and it is an armored up Sith in that typical Sith clothing and Sith armor. And as he walks in, he's scraping the ground with a lightsaber in front of him. And he's like, make a choice. And initiative.
okay.
Gand is sitting here trying to deal with his poor negotiating skills on the give it to me and die, or just die. There's a difference there.
I'm not sure if he's negotiating or just having a good time.
Having a good time. Hold on, don't nobody roll yet. Nobody roll yet.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let me clear this out because it's just too much to deal with. Okay, go ahead and roll.
Oh, it's too bad. I had a good roll.
Oh, did
What's
you? Sorry.
the roll
Oh,
for initiative again?
this is better. Never mind.
It's
Vigilance, probably?
Yes.
It's either cool or vigilance based on whether we had a plan or if a Sith walked in and just told us all to go fucking die.
okay. And it's no difficulty or
No difficulty.
Yeah, it's just... It's
If you had
basically
done felt the fear, you would have.
okay.
Some of us got a triumph on our fear rolls. Ooh, or a triumph on your initiative rolls. Damn. All of this is
What does
bad.
this mean?
Well, initiative is normally based on counting advantages and tie-breaking with successes. But the triumph comes before everything else. So basically it means Gand goes, then the Sith guy goes, then you and me go. Me and then
You could have
you.
told me anything, I would have believed you.
I may have just made that up. I don't know.
You could have been
Someone
like, I
interested.
go twice in a row. And I've been like, okay, let's do this.
Seems fair. Seems about right.
There we go. All right. You notice that he's definitely roughly about 30, 40 feet from y'all. Walking in, and this red, eerie, dark red saber glows, and he's just kind of swiping it across the ground. Y'all have first initiative, so somebody can go first.
Sanguine. It's a sanguine saber.
Sanguine saber.
That's gonna be the name of my band.
Sanguine saber.
Is that not a euphemism of sorts?
Oh, no.
Again?
Now.
Sounds like
And is going to take 1 strain to aim twice, and then shoot with his blaster.
3 blacks.
3 blacks and 2 purples.
Standard difficulty and 3 blacks.
Okay.
Tim's like shit. I can see Tim's face. You hit though.
really bad.
Yep.
Okay. You lose one success as it bounces off with the saber automatically, and you do get one hit. So what are your hit and damage?
My hit is 9 damage.
Okay. You do that. It kind of hits him a little bit in his shoulder, kind of singes part of the armor. And he looks at you and goes, poor, pitiful creature. And he stands there.
You didn't offer me a deal here. I die either way.
And all of a sudden, he's like, okay. And 3. Roll. He leaps forward out of the air. Leaps forward from the air, takes all 40 feet, jumps in front of Gand, and strikes. Got any defense on you there, Gand?
1 second. I realized I might. I need my book.
What's wrong, Tim?
Nothing. Everything is fine here. How are you?
Uh-oh. And then he disconnects.
I don't know why Skype does that sometimes.
This is hilarious. It was perfectly timed, too.
Yeah, it was.
All right, just to make sure we see if he has any defense dice.
Do you guys have me back now? Is it
Yes,
good?
yeah, you're good. You're good.
Awesome. That was hilarious.
It was like perfect timing for you to disappear real quick. But he leaps in the air, and as he's leaping in the air, you hear that standard scream that you're used to.
Nope, no defense dice.
No defense dice. He is doing a called shot for your weapon.
Okay.
So that will give him... He goes to your weapon and goes... and splits it in like 2 pieces as it's completely destroyed. And he's got some advantages.
It's rolling a lot of dice. It's all bad. He's better at lightsabers than I am.
He's better at rolling, too.
Do I take any damage?
You do not take any damage because he went straight for the weapon.
A called sunder of sorts.
Yeah.
That's worse than taking damage.
You do get your next check does take a black die no matter what.
Okay.
And that's all he's gonna be able to do with that. And your weapon is completely destroyed.
Yeah.
He's kind of a dick.
Hey, guess what I got done watching?
Rebels?
Yes.
Sweet. Good ending, right? Right?
Yeah. I've been doing some study because I actually started playing Star Wars Old Republic again.
Nice.
Just to get more feel for being a Sith.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's working. We're all terrified. I mean, our characters passed their fear checks. Our players did not.
Okay.
No, players did not pass the fear checks.
Okay. Whichever one of y'all is ready to go, y'all can go.
Okay. Mel's gonna go next. She's basically right next to the guy because he jumped 40 feet in close the distance between us. So she's gonna use her force power to harm him. This is a little abstracted, but it's basically like a force choke or like a death throw or a hurting of his body. It's inherently a little dark, but she's genuinely terrified and feels like he's just going to come kill everybody.
Okay.
So I just looked this up. This is the first time I've ever used this, but I believe what happens is I roll a force die equal to my force rating.
Correct.
There you go. And I will use that dark side power point. I will get some conflict, and I will do damage to him, ignoring soak, equal to my intellect, which is 6.
Okay.
So he just takes 6.
All right.
I can only do this once per encounter with him, but that's just like a reaching out with the force and just like being really nasty to him.
Yeah, you slam into him, and he's like, he looks over, and you can just see that. You can't see his face under the mask, but you can tell that under that mask, there's like a lot of hatred coming at you as he's done that.
And then Mel is going to adopt a defensive stance with her saber.
Okay.
And sort of try to protect her friends.
Protect her friends. All right. And Frizz, what you gonna do?
Fizz, she's right next to the box because that's where she was at whenever they met this counter.
Correct.
So it's pretty light. She puts it on the ground real quick and kicks it away from them as far as she can, back into the darkness there, and then pulls out her lightsaber and lights it. I assume in her action she'd be able to jump on the sarcophagus and then from that jump down to get some leverage to get to him and bring a swipe down at him with her lightsaber.
You can do that, no problem. Give me a standard difficulty for athletics, and then of course a melee attack with your saber.
Alrighty.
3 blacks. All right, do the athletic checks first.
Athletics does not have any black, right?
No. That's just standard. Good to go, no problem. And then the lightsaber check is 3 blacks plus a standard difficulty of 2 purples.
Okay.
These guys are so creepy.
Yeah, because every time he's moving, that scream is piercing the air.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you said 3 purples, 2 blacks?
2 purples, 3 blacks.
Oh, darn. Okay.
Okay, you hit. And he goes... Okay. You go and you hit. What's your base damage?
I don't know. What's the base damage of a lightsaber?
Usually 10.
10.
10. Yeah, feel free to throw it out to me there because I don't have my book open to that particular spot.
No worries. So base damage 10, and then some 3.
Okay, you do that, and as you hit him, you slide down his lightsaber because he comes in and blocks it, slides down, and it cuts into his body, and then he rolls and punches you right as you come in close to him.
Does that knock me back?
I have to make a roll.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yes.
Do you have any defensive dice I need to know about?
No.
Okay, so standard difficulty. As he comes in and hits you, you only take 5, and it's only strain damage.
Just strain.
Yeah, to strain.
Oops. Strain.
And I will start using some of my stuff. You will have a negative to hit him. You will have an extra black dice on your next check to hit him. And I will upgrade one of my next attacks.
That makes sense. She just got socked in the face. Yep. I imagine pretty hard. She might have broken her nose. She doesn't know yet. She's a little busy.
Okay. Where'd Max go?
I don't know.
Max had to potty.
He's back.
Yep. There's Max. All right, new initiative. Max, what you gonna do?
Well,
and guys, you don't have to go in order. You're allowed to go anywhere in that. You can just choose as a team who's gonna go
this
next.
round, Mel would like to go last.
Okay.
And she's trying to sort of draw the attention of the Sith. So if you guys want to even back off a little bit, that would be fine.
Gand will definitely back off a little bit. And is there some kind of defensive action I can take?
There is. There is guarded stance, which adds 1 black check until next turn, and you get +1 melee defense.
Then that is what he is going to do.
Okay. Yeah, it's a combat maneuver. Costs you 2 strain.
Okay. Because he is currently where he does not want to be.
Yeah, right next to him.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Mel.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at you and goes, "Good. At least I can hit something that might survive 1 attack." And he goes to throw and put some damage into you.
Mel braces herself. She's never fought one of these people before, but she feels like going down swinging is not a bad place to be.
Any blacks I need to know about?
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of melee defense now.
Yes.
When I say a bunch, it's not actually very much. I have. Just one melee defense. So upgrade one of his purples to a red. That is it.
Oh, it's not a black?
No, it's not.
Okay. And he
It's
notices,
just regular melee defense.
Yeah. He notices that you've got, he recognizes the stance right away, flips over a destiny point, leaps off of the sarcophagus as he pushes Frizz away with a boot, and then leaps over and kind of does a spinning and comes down at you, stabbing down at you as he's coming down.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
okay.
it is.
Yep. My soak is irrelevant because he's using a lightsaber.
Correct.
But I do have parry, so I
takes
can suffer strain to reduce the damage.
Okay.
How much does he do?
Standard lightsaber damage.
Okay, so 10, 11, 12, 13. That's many. And with parry, I have
You have a decent-
supreme parry. So it only
Uh-huh.
cost me 1 strain to use parry if I didn't attack him in the last round.
And you
And I have
didn't.
1, 2, 3 ranks in parry. So parry is when hit by a melee attack while wielding a melee weapon or lightsaber, suffer strain to reduce damage by 2 plus ranks in parry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So instead of taking 13, I'll take 8.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yep.
And I suffer 1 strain to do that.
Okay. And he is going to make you drop your weapon.
Okay. That's,
So you go in, you pull it down, and you've never felt this much force put onto your saber before, as the saber comes and just rips out of your hand as he knocks it away, as he comes down. And you hear this laughter coming from him that just pierces everything. You can just feel it chill through your body.
Yeah, that's not ideal. That's terrifying. This man is really scary. Okay. At this point, Mel or Frizz, we can go in either direction. Mel will go first because she might be able to give Frizz an advantage. Okay. So she's going to use a maneuver to recover her lightsaber.
Okay.
She's going to suffer strain to take an extra maneuver and place herself in a guarded stance, which takes an extra 2 strain. And then she's going to attack him with the lightsaber. Now, you said I have 3 blacks?
3 blacks.
Okay. Are any of those based on fear?
No.
Okay. So she is going to see if she can't use her lightsaber.
Standard difficulty and 3 blacks, and don't roll it just yet. Let me clear this off, that way we can all see it pretty good.
Okay.
All right.
That could have gone worse.
Yeah.
So Mel does not trigger any advantage, which is too bad.
Wow,
She
yeah.
could have liked recovering some of that strain.
Uh-huh.
But she does do 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage.
Okay. He takes that. You can see that when you hit him, he like pressures in with it and goes with it, and it kind of bounces, but still strikes him pretty solid.
She's done 21 damage to him, but I think this is the round she goes down, folks. So be aware.
You notice? Give me a perception roll.
I'm not great at that. She's pretty like distracted, absent-minded professor type situation, but yeah, Mel's aware of very little here.
Something seems very familiar with the style he's using.
Oh, okay. She'll mentally note that down for later and remind herself to think about it when she's not literally fearing for her life.
Okay. Whoever's next?
I guess me?
Yeah.
So, Frizz was knocked over by him as he went for Mel.
Mhm.
He's pretty close proximity from her.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still in melee. He just used you as a springboard for dramatic effect.
Just to be a jerk. So, she's gonna grab her lightsaber with both of her hands while she's on the ground and leap to her feet at the same time putting in a stabbing motion towards his chest plate mail area.
Okay. You see him whirl around as you're trying to stab him. Lightsaber comes up and he pulls it down like you know he's coming towards you. He's like, and it lights on both sides this time.
Ugh.
4 blacks because you have a negative to attack him this turn.
I do. Okay.
So 2 purples and 4 blacks.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh, still hitting him though.
Still hits.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's worth 12 damage.
Yep. You go in and you hit, and he doesn't get it quite popped quick enough, and you come in and start slicing and hits him over the side. He does deflect it a bit, as you've noticed that you did some damage, but not a lot. And he kind of reels, and you hear that piercing Sith scream coming from that helmet again.
I gotta aim for that helmet next time.
Y'all's turn. You got one more. You got one more before he goes.
If you guys don't mind, I think Mel's going to jump in here because I think she
Go right ahead.
dies next. Okay, so Mel is going to, you know what she's going to do? She's just going to like concentrate all of her energy on herself, use her force powers to heal herself, and then she's going to step into a guarded stance again and taunt him. She's going to say like, is that all you got? Because I'm still here, and I was told the Sith were terrifying.
Okay.
She's gonna use some more conflict there. She's
really...
happy to step into her hate a little bit here.
Okay.
There's definitely an infectious element to the way he's fighting, and she's angry and she's afraid. Afraid she's gonna die. Afraid that this is where they meet their end at the hands of this impossible force to face down against. And while she's terrified and she's trying to stand her ground and be resolved, like. That fear is a little infectious, and she's definitely feeling it.
And perfectly reasonable for you to use that the negative force die.
Yeah,
the dark side.
So I'm gonna have some conflict at the end of the session, which we can deal with.
Okay.
But she does heal for 6 wounds, and then she'll suffer 2 more strain to enter a guarded stance. And as I say, she calls him out pretty directly.
Okay. It's his turn. You sit there and you do that, and he looks back at you and goes, such pitifulness. Reaches over, takes his saber, and starts spinning it towards you. Does that, and reaches over and goes, and reaches out with his hand, and grips towards Frizz, and goes to...
What are we doing here?
Goes for, grabs you, pulls you in, and has got you wrapped around, as in like it's like he force pulled you into his body, where you're back against his chest, and he takes this and he's got the saber pointed right at your chest. He's got one end closed, the other one opened, and he's got it pointed at your chest, and he's like, "Take the box and leave, or she dies right now."
Frizz is immediately regretting kicking that box.
And
She's debating on kicking him in the crotch because her foot is probably about there, but she knows she's not going to get through that armor.
He sits there and he's got it out.
Did you just say take the box and leave, or she dies right now?
That is what I hear. Was he actually saying, "Give me the box and leave"?
Nope. Take the box or she dies.
Take the box.
All of a sudden, you see him, and he's got it now pointed on her chest, and it's kind of burning and eating away as her clothes. And he starts walking away. If you would like to do some struggling to get away, you may or you may not. It is up to you.
I would love to do some struggling.
Okay.
She's gonna start. Just like I said, kick in at his groin region, assuming that his anatomy is similar to hers. And would roll a brawl.
It is a brawl, but now the difficulty is a lot higher as you feel yourself choked by the force.
It makes complete sense.
You will have a black die with this, 2 black die because that's what he's rolled on the force check, and a 3 purple difficulty.
It makes sense. This is a terrifying situation to be in, especially her being so small. She's probably literally just being held by the neck, just dangling there.
You start to wiggle, and then all of a sudden the saber gets up into you, and you're like, oh, and you start pushing back into him.
Sink my kidneys.
Take it and go. And he starts pushing it into you. And he starts walking back with you. Not going in?
Let out a crazy high-pitched squeal. What is happening?
Take it and go.
Goes against the box, totally confused by this situation. Huh? You're not very good at this negotiating thing. Usually you get what you want, we get what we want. Shouldn't it be us give you the box and you let her go?
And all of a sudden, you do that, and he takes and shoves the saber through her body.
Whoa!
I said, take it. Frizz, you feel searing hot pain as this saber goes through your chest and out to the side of you.
She immediately looks down at it, knowing that she shouldn't, but she does, and it's awful.
And you start to fade to black.
That makes sense. I will have a turn now.
Which one of you are next as he pulls the saber out?
He is totally willing to take the box and go, by the way. He was on his way to the box when he was having this conversation.
Mel?
Mel's really confused here. But she's not really comfortable letting him keep stabbing Frizz. She's not totally sure. Can I do knowledge medicine to know if that was a lethal blow or not?
It looked lethal to you because she's no longer moving, but he is holding her still.
Okay. I'm not sure if Mel flies into a blind rage and stabs him with a saber, or if she follows the retreating crowd with the box here.
You do see him take. Gan has the box and he is moving away.
Mm-hmm. I'm going back to the ship. I'm doing exactly what I'm told to survive.
Okay. Mel is also backing off, and she's following Gand. They've got the box they came for, and she's enormously confused by him. But she's a small part of her is is he almost dead? Is he close to dying? Is he afraid and he's letting us get away? Is that what's happening here? But
5,
she's also still terrified.
4,
and she really
3.
She's running.
2, 1. Okay. You take off running, and that's where we're going to end it.
Okay. There we go.
And we will conclude this right here and stop recording. We will be back, maybe not next week, but the week after. Thanks for listening, guys.